I'm here with Tiffany Woodruff. So Tiffany, can you tell us like the difference between high school soccer and college soccer is?
For me, the biggest difference was dedication and just the constant mindset of you have to give your 100% effort all the time, and just having the right attitude. I would say high school soccer, yeah, it was difficult, and my team was very successful, but it's just completely different giving your 100% effort here, and it's so much harder working for what you want.
Would you say that like the coaches are more demanding?
Yeah, definitely.
in high school.
Definitely. They set really high expectations for you, which I like because it gives me something to work towards and bettering myself as a player and an athlete.
Who's your toughest opponent?
Our toughest opponent. I don't know. I would say I'm not sure. I mean, Central is obviously one of our biggest games because of the rivalry, and because of how they beat us last year.
Can you talk about the Central Western game a little bit in soccer? I know in football it's very spirited and it gets very chippy.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if the girls' soccer team, when they play Central, is it like a rivalry game? Does it get pretty spirited? And do the Central girls kind of play dirty at times?
Yeah, it's a game where you come into it knowing this is going to be a battle, just because of the rivalry. And I wish it was as spirited as a football game. So if we could draw a bigger crowd, the game would, it would just make the game so much different on so many different levels. But we played really well. We dominated the whole game, and I was expecting so much I wouldn't say like a harder game, but I was expecting so much more from them than what they showed on our field. But we definitely dominated them, and we beat them this year. So
That's right. So you're actually looking to up the stakes. So by the time you're a senior, you want that to be like a full-blown rivalry game, kind of a knockout, drag-out.
Yeah. I am a type of player who I love aggressive. I love being aggressive. That's my favorite aspect of the game, is being able to take a tackle and give it back and having that.
I have to say though, being a defender, you have to probably have that in your blood.
Yeah. Being a defender, obviously you have to be able to take tackles and give them, as well as keeping it clean to where you don't get a call against you. That's probably one of the toughest things.
Now you're 5'6", right?
5'5.5". Don't want to say 5'6". That seems tall for me, but.
So just because you're 5'6" does not mean that you don't play aggressive and strong.
Right. I'd say a majority of the team are all around that height, but we have one player, Nicolette Rivera. She's a senior. She's about 4'10", almost 5 foot, and she is one of our toughest players. She can take tackles like no one I've ever seen, and she is the shortest of our players, and she gives it back too. So, there's no question that height has no factor in aggressiveness.
So Tiffany, tell the people who don't know that the games are actually free to go to.
Yeah, all the home games are free to go to, but yeah, all of our games are free to go to, and we love having people in the crowds. I do know that the boys soccer team draws a little bit more of a crowd than the girls. We still would love our crowd to be there.
So kind of tell the people where the soccer stadium is, so they can come and see you play.
It is kind of hard getting people to come just because we're so off campus, but if you go down, if you're coming from here, going down Stadium, and you take a left on Drake, and then a left on Parkview, it'll be on your right, and it'll have this huge sign with a soccer ball as a soccer complex. So it's right off Parkview.
Now, do you guys practice there, or do you kind of practice on
Yeah.
campus, or do
Yeah.
you practice in the practice facilities or on the football field?
During the season, we practice at Parkview on the fields, and spring season will be here in Sealy and in the weight room, and preseason as well.
So, like, is it possible for like up and coming girls, like in high school, can actually come watch you practice, or is that restricted?
It does have its restrictions just because of the NCAA and their rules and everything, but they can't actually practice with us, but I think that they can watch.
Yeah.
I do know we just had recruits like 2 weeks ago, and they came and watched us train on a Saturday right before our game on Sunday. So,
Oh, how cool is that?
so yeah, they got to be a part
Now,
of
if
that.
somebody wants to know, a viewer wants to know, do you have any pre-game rituals? Like, is there things that you do the week before a game, or is there things that you eat, or is there something you do like vacuum your dorm room, or eat cafeteria pudding, or anything like that?
I don't know. I listen to music and I jam out as hard as I can before every game.
Is that like right before the game, or 2 hours before the game?
On the bus, I mean, in the locker room, we like last week it was senior night, or yeah, it was senior day or something like that, and we just blasted music in the locker room. We were all dancing, we were all standing up, like dancing around.
Did you get the coach to dance?
No, she came in and she was just laughing. We were just having a good time. But I listen to my music all the time. So
You never know. I heard some pretty crazy things about some players doing some little pregame rituals. And
yeah.
Just kind of nutty.
I wouldn't say it's like nutty or anything, but I pray before every game
Oh.
and just pray for my health and for the team and just make sure everyone's healthy. That's probably one of my biggest things is praying. And
Now, do you have any like pregame meals or certain things that you eat before a game? Just something the coach sets up for you, or is it something you kind of just do?
you're kind of on your own, but I'm a pretty healthy eater. If I want to splurge every once in a while, it's because I got that extra workout in and I kind of reward myself. But most of the time, I eat pretty healthy. Before games, I try to have like a turkey sandwich and a salad, and I drink a lot of Powerade, and a lot of water.
Is there any other sports that you play, like just to keep your stamina up with, like maybe basketball or martial arts or anything like that?
I'm taking a mixed martial arts class through the school, and it requires a lot of cardio. Today was probably the hardest day, and it was kind of fun. It's something different, and I enjoyed it. I know me and my brother fight all the time. Like, we just wrestle around and stuff, and he wants to get into that, so I thought it would be kind of fun.
Are you the only girl in the class then, or is it?
There's actually is one other girl, but I'm usually the only girl in there, so. But it's fun. I like it.
So what are you going to school for? What are you trying to get your degree in?
I'm majoring in exercise science, and I want to become a physical therapist. So.
Oh, how cool is that?
So.
Do you have plans to get your master's, or are you just gonna kind of go with the flow, or?
Yeah, I want to make it into graduate school, and I don't know. Something that drew me to physical therapy was I tore my MCL in 7th grade,
Oh.
and it was a big blowout for me. It was in regionals, and I got into pool play, and it was like my biggest accomplishment so far. And I blew out my knee, and I got into physical therapy, and I got to kind of see, like, they got to work with athletes and help them rehab, and I kind of got to see the sports side of
Like the ins
the
and outs.
profession. Yeah. So that kind of drew me to the profession, and I started working more with that through high school. So.
I kind of call those tough injuries like that character builders,
Yeah.
because you really have to take a step back, kind of.
Yeah.
Can you talk about like how hard that was for you to know that you weren't going to play soccer for a year? Or...
Yeah. It was really tough. it really, taking time away from the sport makes you realize your true passion for the game. And I just remember sitting on the sidelines and being like, oh, that could be me. I could be out there, you know, like, but I can't. Like, just knowing that your body can't, that's the hardest thing. And wanting to be out there, but it gives you that much more drive to get better as well. Because I know we have some players right now who tore their ACL before the season even started, or maybe the second game. And I know that's really tough for them because I see them in tears. I've seen them in tears more than once, so it's hard. It's really hard.
So do you ride to games like on a bus, or do you have, how does that, like the team bus or something?
For home games, we meet in the locker room and we have our little talk and kind of pump up session, and then we all drive our own cars to the fields. But away games, we meet here at Sealy and get in the bus and then go to the game.
What's the bus ride like to the games? Does it get kind of crazy? Or does coach kind of keep you under control?
Well, most of us kind of do our own thing. Obviously, the freshmen all sit at the front, the seniors get the back. It's kind of like ordered like that, but we all just kind of sit with each other, and a lot of us listen to our own music and kind of watch movies. But usually on the way back, that's when it's the most hyped because we're almost home, and like the game. Especially if we won, it's a great environment. It's really fun.